Hi guys, I'm back with more. Can you freaking believe it? I woke up this morning and there's more energy. There is more. You think we were done? You thought we were done? My god, it turns out not. I thought we were done too after what, 2.5 hours, maybe 5 hours of a freaking video. Um, but no, there's more. There's absolutely more. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna be cleaning this thing as I do this, okay? So the first thing is the anxiety. There is so much anxiety right now in this connection. There is anxiety to a point where, and the anxiety is caused by the element of love. So there's confusion, which causes the anxiety, and the confusion stems from the idea or the mutual understanding that there's a connection between you guys, but neither of you have established that, or you both might be aware of this in more ways than you think. That's what's coming in. So you're both aware of what's going on, but you're doubting yourselves and you're doubting the situation. And I'm included in this with my own situation, but please bear in mind, when I'm reading, I can't tell what is going on in my own people's lives, the people that join these videos, unless I were to go into a personal reading with them and actually discuss it with them. So I can't tell who is and who isn't pertinent to all the information in here. However, I can say that those are the people that came in, and that's the reading that I gave. So that's what happened there last night. As for this morning, I think the energies are playing off of those feelings from last night. So it's playing off of the energies of what we think is going to happen. Right. It's playing off the energies of what we think is going to happen once everybody sees that part of the video. So it feels like there needs to be some explanations coming in to this whole situation. It feels like one of you is going to reach out to the other one. It feels like there's going to be a coming to terms. It's like this is a rite of passage almost. Like you both have to go through the fire and the flames of this current situation in order to come out on top on the other side. So it's all happening for you, and I'm just going to play a little bit more on that. I'm going to start including myself in this as well. And I would be this person that is now transitioning and finding his way in life. And I have someone who I think is this person who has been behind and is following suit, but she is kind of figuring things out. And the only reason I think that is because it's something that I just feel super intensely. And now that I have these psychic gifts, it's not easy to doubt myself anymore if I feel something or I sense something. But with this connection, it's almost like the doubt has to be there. So it's almost like there's this, like we've talked about it already last night, in the shadow work and the shadow play going on, right? I still have doubt, it turns out, and I need to get through that. And this process is doing that for me by allowing me to speak the truth and put it up online, even though it's asking me to do it 3 months from now. The whole point of that 3 months is that that's the period you're going to have gone through for that first video. This video is then with the understanding of the energy that we'll all have after that 3 months. So I'm basically trying to tap into the energies there and see what happened in the 3 months, and also, what now. So it does feel like the 3 months period is like your probation. So it feels like you got to take this time to be separate and disconnect. It feels like there has to be a disconnection, because right now, this person wants to disconnect, but they're also afraid of hurting this person. So just remember who's who. So this person's the person that's now transitioning. They've worked through their things, and they are now moving into a better life. And then this person is the twin flame that is following suit. They're following suit, but they just took a little bit longer or something. I don't know, something happened to them. It's per individual whatever happened to them, but something has happened to them, which kind of just hindered them a little bit. And you were the spark that ignited the realization of that. So that's why they were dawdling a little bit. It's not necessarily that they didn't know what was going on. It was more that they were able to shut things out so that they could move through life. And meanwhile, you had done that, and you then overcame that, and then you did that whole, like in last night's videos, remember we had that whole like back and then you go up. So they already did that whole down and up, and they did that all the time. So basically every opportunity that they got and everything, they had to push through it. They had to push to be the best and push to work the hardest. And because it was with other people, I get the sense that mostly they just kept coming. They never came out on top. They were just always on the underdog. They were always misunderstood. They were always misrepresented. They were always made out to be the bad guy or girl, or, non-monogamous. You know what I mean? So that's why this person is so adamant that they're moving on, because they're done with all the bullshit that the whole of humanity has caused them. They're done with humanity, essentially. I don't mean in terms of helping humanity. I mean in terms of letting humanity derail them. They're no longer going to let a single person, not even their twin flame, is going to derail this person any longer. Not a goddamn chance. And that's interesting because this person actually had a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you had people-pleasing tendencies. So you were like, yes, I will do whatever you want. And especially that plays into relationships. So, if you had a work relationship like this, you probably had parent relationship like this, you probably had girlfriend-boyfriend relationships like this, where it was trying to make them feel good so that they would want to be around you. And firstly, I want to point out that that's actually a little bit of a selfish game to play because it's a little bit of a manipulative tactic without you realizing it. The only issue is that it's a manipulative tactic that doesn't work. Okay, there are other manipulative tactics that do work, but you shouldn't be using manipulation at all. What you are realizing now, or have identified and are now working towards, or are even at for some of you, is that you don't need to people please, you don't need to do all of that anymore. And what has helped you with this right here, this lovely, beautiful person right here, your twin flame. Your twin flame has assisted you to make sure, right? What happened between you guys? I would love to hear your actual stories in the comments below, because if we can see the stories, you're going to see all the correlations in the stories from this reading. But this person is basically, they identified just before this meeting happened, they identified that nobody's going to derail them. Then the meeting happened as a result of that. And when the meeting happened, this person showed some element of disrespect, not necessarily at the points of meeting, but through some interaction, they showed some disrespect, or they showed. So the word betrayal always comes up when this topic comes in, or when I'm thinking about this, or when I'm being read about this. There's always the word betrayal that comes up. And I think this person feels like there was a betrayal. And some people here feel like there was a betrayal. And for both of you, in some case, there was a betrayal. But for most of you, it was really arbitrary. For most of you, it was just like for example, in my personal situation, it was just that I sent a text and I didn't get a response back. So it was basically like a ghost situation. And that was enough for me. I was like, okay, I'm not going to chase this. So I cut it off and I cut the energy cords. And I was like, because I could already feel a little bit of a connection there. But obviously, if you know my history with women, that's why I still have this doubt. Because goddamn, I'm a weird guy. And a lot of people just can't accept this. So it gets like murky waters. But it's so confusing because then when you're in the relationship, then they want the honesty. And it's like, God fucking damn, what the hell do you want? But that's why I just gave up, right? Because I'm tired of chasing. I'm tired of trying to understand people. That's literally what I tried to do my whole life, and I finished with it. I'm trying to understand myself now, and I'm part of this group. So you guys are all trying to understand yourselves now, and yourselves are coming first, and what you want is coming first, and fuck everybody else. And that's what happened. So this person now realized that. This person triggered that inside you and made you realize that you don't need anybody. And this person now has to realize the same. So this person doesn't need to feel like they're in solitary confinement from this person or from society. This person should feel more like, I'm working towards a vision. I'm working towards a goal. I'm working towards a dream. And that dream is this. And then this person gets to decide as well if they want that dream to be with this person or not. And remember that this person can also make that decision. If you've properly hurt this person, you probably fucked up. Okay? If you are someone who has already performed the betrayal, and especially, guys, if you've done it 3 times, so a three-time charm, yes. So if you have done a betrayal and you've done it 3 times, then this person is going to be out of your life for the rest of your life. Okay. If you are a compulsive cheater, if you are someone who finds validation in the opposite sex, if you are someone who consistently shows disrespect in some element, this person is not going to put up with that. Okay. And I don't mean that this person is going to be a hard person to get along with, but they might be as well. But it might be the same case here. So you guys are going to have to work together to get through all of that. So there's a lot of behind the scenes energy here. There's family members who don't understand, or friends who are telling you that you shouldn't do it. There's something behind the scenes that is convincing this person in particular that this can't work out. And it's causing heartbreak for this person. This person is pretty adamant. This person's like, bruh, I'm pretty sure things can work out for us, but I'm still going to go this way, all right? I'm still going to cruise this way, okay? But you do you. When the time's right, I know you'll come. That's this person's energy. Whereas this person's energy right now is actually calming down a lot. It was, for a few days, it was very crazy. I mean, I would literally, for me and who I think it is, I would literally sometimes just go and drive by where she works, just so I can feel the energy, just so I can make sense of stuff. And also just so that she can have a bit of like energy closure, I suppose. She doesn't have to see me, and I don't have to see her for this to take place. So sometimes I'll do that just kind of just checking up on her, I suppose, just making sure that her energies, because what I'm getting from her energies is just a lot of stagnant stuff, but this isn't a personal reading, so I'm not going to do that. But I will use that to try and advance this reading here. So behind the scenes work, there's people behind the scenes. Maybe there's a group of people, or there's a community, or it's your family or friends. It might also be a situation, something like this person might have like dated, or something might have happened with this person and one of your friends in the past. So there might be an element of that, of like, no, it's forbidden fruit. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like this person is forbidden fruit for this person, and it feels like this person is like, well, fuck that shit, dude. Like, come here. And at the same time, this person's also like, well, I don't know what to do with you right now, so I'm going to go that way. And that's kind of what's transpiring right now. And then from this 3-month period, what will happen? What will happen? So what will happen is that this person is going to go through their shadow. This person's going to eliminate their doubts, and things are going to move forward again. I have a suspicion that this person will contact this person. I don't think this person is going to contact this person. I think this person's going to go and live their life. They're going to glow and grow, and God's gifts are being granted to them right now. Like all the G's came out in that sentence. And versus this person who is... This person has absolutely entered some sort of commitment or some sort of established. There is something that this person is now feeling tied to. And I'm seeing like a piece of paper, but I'm also seeing money. I'm also seeing a child. Maybe someone got pregnant. I don't know. There is something here that feels like it's tying you to a bind to somebody else, or to something else, or to a different life away from this person. It feels like you did feel the connection, but you only felt it too little too late. It's kind of what the energy feels like. Whereas this person feels like, oh, I thought there was a connection from the start. Maybe I was wrong, move on. And then when this person started feeling that, this person started picking up on it from a distance. So you guys aren't in contact. You're not in contact. You're not talking. You might be doing little things. Like for me, it's those drives past her workplace. But you might be doing little things like that. Oh, and I think she might be doing things on me, like just, I don't know, maybe watching vlogs or something. And that's kind of what's playing out. So there's interaction, but it's behind the scenes interaction, and of both people. It's not like you guys are talking to each other, is what I'm saying. But there's definitely it's like there's a play going on in reality. Okay, I keep hearing stop, so I'm just gonna stop it there. That sentence? Is there anything else that needs to come out? It says no, we're all good. They say no, we're all good. Okay, so in 3 months from now, we can, if we need to, when I release this video, I can then do another video just to see what the energies have changed and how things have changed. But I think it's important that I just leave this here. Guys, if you join my reading, so from this point onwards, I'm going to do my readings regardless of what situation I am in personally. If you join my readings and you are one of the people that is part of the situation that I am going through in my life, firstly, if that's who you think you are, you probably are that person. Secondly, if you have questions, just contact me directly, because I'm an open book. I really don't mind talking about this stuff. You can clearly see that. I'm happy to make myself a weird guy online. And that's that. Okay. Also, I want to say, when it comes to my twin flame, so if my twin flame, or if the person I think my twin flame is on this, then I think I just want to say, like, I want to say that it feels very weird doing this. Ah, God. I hate this. I like to talk in person. And I like to talk one-on-one. I don't like to communicate my messages like subtly through videos. You know what I mean? It feels like a scapegoat way to do things. This reading wasn't for you, and it wasn't meant for you or our situation. And I don't know what all of this applies to you in your situation, but I do want you to know that, like, you don't have to worry so much. Everything's fine. And if you're worried that I don't feel a connection, you at the very least, you can put that worry aside. But if you are worried about your own situation and what to do with it, I don't think I can help you there. I think you need to do what you need to do. And I think this resonates with these people here. I don't think they're willing to continue to help anymore. Not in the way they have been. They need a break. They need this transition. They need to move into the phase where they can feel abundant before they can start truly handing out to the world. That's what their job here is now. And your job is to catch up and follow suit. So this person here was there to ignite this in you. So don't feel bad and don't feel guilty and don't feel all these things, but at the same time, only let go of these emotions if you have learned whatever it is that you needed to learn from them. So God and the angels are just making it super uber clear again, just one time. This person doesn't deal with hurt anymore, and this person is becoming aware of it. And that's all that's playing out, okay? That's all that's playing out. This person realized that this person could cut them off easily if they needed to. And this person realized that they probably have been seeking. In fact, it feels like they're seeking you. It feels like they're seeking this person in other people and in other things in their life, but they can't find it. And they don't understand why. They're like, what the hell is going on? It feels like this person is spiritually mature, but not in the sense that this person is. This person knows who they are, knows what they want, and is getting it. They're manifesting. They're literally becoming godlike. They're achieving their God mode so that they can then go and hand out and dish out to all the people in the world who need that. Versus this person has now realized that, whatever was going on in their life, and they started catching up. That's all that's going on in there, okay? In terms of the actual spirituality, it feels like this person knows a lot more about what's going on, especially in this whole situation. This person's the psychic, this person's the spiritually mature one, and they have been spending this time, 5 years, 6 years, skyrocketing themselves to get to this point. They were confused. They were probably more confused than you are, but they got here anyways. And I'm getting that they didn't have help. So I'm getting that this person might have help, but they might have taken the wrong help. And that might be the situation that's got them stuck. That might be their predicament. And this person identified that whenever they were helped, they were actually hindered. So they decided to go their own way and play life by their own rules. And that's what they're doing now. And as a result, that's why they're moving on to the next life. This person now needs to identify that. So that's going to happen as well in those 3 months. I also feel like this person's going to come to some sort of resolution. It doesn't have to be in this 3 months, but it might be in this 3 months in terms of at least coming to a resolution of a decision. So at least this person might have decided, hey, I know that I would like to be with this person in future. Or, hey, I know that I want this for my future. So at least it feels like this crazy time now is going to allow them to put a plan into place. And it's not necessarily a plan that everything is going to work out perfectly. It's more a plan that you're going to just like tumble over and, you're going to, that's how life works, okay? You have a plan, but remember that God gives you challenges all the time because you need to learn. So, and the angels, but at least what you're going to be learning is that if you want to get there, you at least are learning how you're going to aim your trajectory to that point. And then you're going to be able to propel yourself to that point. That's going to happen here. This person's learning that as well, but in this next phase where it's not necessarily about planning, it's more about trust and faith. That's what's going on there, and then they can go in. Obviously, there are actions you can take, and there are things you can do here as well. And it feels like there's a lot of stagnancy there. It feels like you're kind of waiting for the moment, waiting for the opportunity. It also feels like this person's still waiting for this person. And it also feels like because this person's not reaching out, this person doesn't want to do anything. So this person doesn't want to go there and reach out to them, but this person doesn't want to go there and leave them behind. So this person feels a little bit in a predicament, even though this person has already made it adamant that they're not hindering themselves for any purpose. So even for the twin flame, they're not going to leave their future life behind for their twin flame. And the twin flame is recognizing that. Okay. Well, that was a mouthful. That was a lot to come out. You still want me to do this 3 months? They keep saying yes. You want the 3 months. What about this video? Is this video meant for 3 months? What is this video meant for? Oh my God, why is this confusing? I haven't been spiritually confused like this in a long time. Yeah, and the reason being is because my baggage comes in. My baggage comes in about, I don't want her to see these videos because I don't want her to make assumptions that I know exactly what's going on. And I also don't want her to make assumptions that I don't know what's going on at all. And I also don't want to make assumptions that it's her, because if it's not her, then I make a fool of myself. Even though I'm so adamantly sure it's her, because the energy is literally calling me there every single day. Well, I mean, not necessarily to her workplace, but I meant to her or to. It's more like it's more like I feed off her situation a little bit. So it's like I can feel when there's a little bit of heartbreak energy. It feels like I'm sharing that a little bit. And it's super confusing because I literally let go of all those emotions in this connection so that I could move on. And now that she realized that, it feels like I'm being pulled back. So it feels like my energy cord keeps being strung back. And the only way that this can be resolved is through resolution. I know that sounds strange, right? But everything's working out. So there is all of this stress and anxiety, but actually everything is working out in the right direction. Otherwise, it wouldn't have transpired the way it did. So the reason it transpired that way is because that's the way we're moving forward. I'm cold now. Okay. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Okay. Right. So if you are confused, if you do think this reading was about you and you are confused, please hit me up and just say, hey, I went through your reading. What do you think? It doesn't matter if I blocked you. It doesn't matter any of these things, okay? I don't have numbers anymore of the people that have joined. So be aware of that. You might have to contact me on Instagram or something like that. But if you do, if you just want to speak some truth, just to clear some energy air, doesn't matter who you are. If you're here with this reading, just do it, okay? Contact. Let's discuss what's going on. And that applies for these people here. It's a good idea if you go ahead and you contact this person. This person doesn't want to contact you, but they are desperate to be contacted. This person wants to know that something is there with you. This person wants to know that it feels like even if this doesn't work out into something, at least there's the desire for closure. And it feels like the only way that could happen is through some sort of communication. And this person recognizes that, but this person's also being guided. So it's not just that this person's stubborn. This person's actually being guided to ignore this person. But this person's finding that very difficult. But they're doing it, whereas this person is ungrounded and doesn't have a clear mind. But they want to go to this person. But they are also aware that this person's done the work and that they can't present themselves with any form of... It's not that they can't present themselves with anything bad. It's that they feel they can't present themselves with anything bad in them. So they see you and they think you're living the best life. Meanwhile, just because you're advanced doesn't mean that life isn't difficult. It doesn't mean that you're not going through your own things and dealing with your own energies. And I think this person might be putting you on a pedestal a little bit for whatever reason. And I think this person's afraid of that. I think this person's afraid of that because their whole life they've been undermined. So now it feels weird having the rules reversed. Now it feels weird that they're being seen on top. And they don't know what to do with that energy. That's why they're just stuck. They're just not doing anything, okay? Also because the angels, if they are a bit more spiritually advanced, which I get the sense that a lot of them are, then the angels and the guides are literally telling them to not do things. You know how I'm being told to do these videos in 3 months from now? I'm also being told to not contact the person who I think it is that I would love to contact just so we can clear some air. I'm being told, no. All my readings keep saying that they'll contact, so this person here is very much going to contact this person here. Okay, that's what's going to play out. That's what's going to play out. It doesn't have to be... I don't know what that interaction is going to bring. I don't know what it's going to mean for either of you. I can't see that force. I don't have that foresight with this situation, okay? And the reason being is because it's a two-way, so this person has foresight for themselves. But because of this now, it feels like this is like... It feels like this has become an obstacle for them. Because they wanted to transition, and it was going to be awesome to bring this person along. But this person then freaked out and went and did something or joined something or committed to something as a result. And now they need to decommit. So now they need to like kind of connive their way out of the situation because it feels like the people that they're involved with here are already conniving. It feels like there's manipulation and lack of boundaries. It feels like that. So it feels like the community here or the person here that's currently housing this person is not healthy. And it feels like this person has now identified that and is trying to move out of that situation. And they would love for that situation to be moved out from that and in with you, but they're aware that there's some things that they need to heal first, so they're doing that. But they also are seeking closure in some capacity because they're afraid of losing you, even though this whole idea of losing you is just nonsense, because if it's meant to happen, you guys can always come together again at some points in the future. That's how that works, okay? There's nothing like... There's a lot of freak out energy, which is unnecessary. There's a lot of anxiety energy, which is derailing the situation in the most profound way. It's derailing the situation so that you can re-rail yourself. So it's literally derailing your life because it's made you realize that there's something that you want that feels important to you. It's made you feel like you have a priority now that you want to work towards. So the whole derailing is literally a derailing so that you can now go and use those rails to then plant your own rail. And if we go back to the cards, which this video might not be in 3 months, this video might be a now video, so I don't know. But in 3 months' time, or maybe not even, I might even just release everything just because fuck it, honestly. I might not even release those videos. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to be the guy who talks to their twin flame and their friends who need readings through videos, okay? I want to be the guy who actually talks in person. That's what I want. But then again, this reading isn't about me. This reading is about the collective, so I need to remember that as well. It's just hard, guys. You don't understand. It's constantly like I keep having to put my personal issues aside. It's like I keep having to, any worries and doubts that I have, I need to keep putting them aside so that I can keep doing this to assist you guys. It's assisting me as well, don't get me wrong. Remember, I learned through these readings as well. I have messages delivered to me, which I've asked questions, and finally they come in through readings because I'm connecting to other people's energies. Sometimes you need that. They're also helping me clear my throat chakra. You know, I keep having like little coughs or snuffs or something. That's because the throat chakra is clearing up. That was my final blockage, is all of this. Being able to speak my truth regardless of if my twin flame's watching these videos, fuck that. You know, she can watch them. Yeah, regardless of if my friends or my ex-friends, I suppose in this case, are watching, then fuck it. Let them watch. You know, I'm tired of hiding the truth, especially from the people who are meant to be important in my life. I'm tired of, imagine this. You walk into a bar, you see what's around, you feel what's around, you hear what's around. And I'm talking physical and esoteric. So you walk into a bar and there was a morning where, I'll use this example. I walked into a restaurant and I was looking forward to this restaurant. And as soon as I made the decision I was going to go there, I got super anxious. And I was like, well, that means I need to go there because there's some sort of anxiety energy there that needs playing out. So what did I do? I went and I sat, and this was before I was super confident. So I was confident. I was very confident, but I wasn't super confident, okay? So anxiety and stuff still impacted me, still affected me. But I went ahead anyways, and I was like, well, stuff this. There's an energy here. Let's go and deal with it. So I sat in that restaurant, and it was the most awkward, annoying. I was my little own me, just an individual, sat in the restaurant, literally just for the sake of being there to deal with this anxiety energy. And there were a few reasons why. The main reason why is because they had a brand new waiter. Most of the people there wouldn't have been able to tell. I think he did a pretty okay job, but he was definitely a brand new waiter, and he reeked of the anxiety energy of having to work a job where like that. So he was afraid to mess up and stuff. So there was just that anxiety energy there. And now imagine that if you were to go up to that person and say, hey man, I am aware that you are a new waiter, and the reason being is because I can tell that you're super anxious, but you don't need to be anxious and stuff. In that scenario, it might have played out okay, because he would have just heard you. But in most scenarios, that's not the case, especially with friends and family. Remember, they've already identified you as something. So if you now all of a sudden become psychic, or actually what happens is all of a sudden you just start speaking your truth, these people see you as something that you're not. And either then they evolve with you or not. And this isn't this and this person anymore, okay? This is your community. So this is directly to the people who are behind now, who need to get forward, who need to rail themselves again. This is for you. So this is just that explanation of energy. So it is hard. It's hard because you want to talk. Imagine you have a crush in front of you, and you know that they're crushing on you, and you're crushing on them, and all you want to say is, hey, I know you're crushing on me. Let's do something about it. How hard is it to do that? It's hard to tell the truth like that because it's hard to make ourselves vulnerable. But this person is aware of that, and that's why they just kept making themselves vulnerable. And then I just used that example of going into the anxiety energy rather than running away. And this person had a tendency to run away. This person did as well, but in a different way. That's why they played out the way they did. But this person had a tendency to run away. So maybe this person, when this person's near, this person's making sure not to notice them, or it's trying to run away, or something like that. There's something like that playing out here as well. So that's that energy there. Guys, this is such a complicated freaking reading. It's really not that complicated, though. All that needs to happen is that this person needs to continue what they're doing. This person needs to decide. This person needs to decide for themselves what they're doing. This person's decided already. They're going there. Okay? You can come along, but I'm going over there. And this person's noticed and is now doing the work to try and get there. It's only that this person might still be doing this. So you might still be trying to rely on people or some situation or this commitment, rather than recognizing that you might have to start again, rather than recognizing that you might have to go back and do like a hard way around. I don't know. You're going to have to figure yourself out, okay? And I would recommend doing things like online readings or get a personal mentor or something like that to help you with that, okay? You guys over here, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being a good person. Keep being resourceful. Keep spending your resources, but in a wise capacity, and things will just work out there. You're going to get the guidance you need. You're going to take the actions you need. The opportunities are coming in for you. Everything's fine. You guys are going to move up. Right? So leave this behind is what they're saying. So that's why there's this 3-month gap. They want you to leave this behind because this person now has their baggage to sort out. So something will happen at some point, probably. But this person needs to leave this behind for now and be like vamanosing. They need to vamanos into their next life. Because this person not here for love in this lifetime. Okay, love was just part of the deal to evolve them as well. But this person is here to change the world. So this person needs to go and actually do that now. And this person's here to change the world as well. But that was ignited, or there was just something about that energy that was ignited in them when this interaction came about. That's the reading for today, yo. I do have a card reading. I'm going to put this video up soon. I do have a card reading and then another reading and a card reading and another card reading on top of that. This situation was a big situation to try and trudge through. And those videos, the card readings and stuff, they were super profound and a lot of synchronicity, but they were also very exposing of my own situation and my own vulnerability. And also, if this person that is connected here does happen to join that video, I'm literally going to be exposing the fact that I'm fully aware of what's going on, even though I'm doubting it. So that's what it feels like. It feels like I think I'm aware of what's going on, but I could also be wrong. That's what it feels like. So that's why this reading has taken so much for me to get everything across, because I couldn't just connect to that one person's energy. And especially because my situation was involved in this as well. It was just a lot of baggage and a lot of past trauma and a lot of my own energies that came up that make it murkier waters, right? I spoke about that in the card reading. When it's your own energy, it's murkier waters. That's why as a psychic, it's harder to read yourself rather than to get read, because you've got murkier waters. You kind of put rose-colored glasses on yourself a little bit, and that's why it's hard to find your shadow self, because it's easier to keep looking at the good parts and ignore or avoid or be in denial of your bad parts or the parts that you don't necessarily want to resonate with. Okay. But yeah, so that is the case. So this video is coming up now. That video, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, okay? I don't know if it's going to be a 3 months out video. That's what I was getting the guidance for, but then I made this video and it feels like the energy's changed. It feels like I'm going to put this video up first, and that's going to kind of like reflect everything. I don't know, I got hiccups again. But this reading, like, I just want to apologize, I suppose. I want to apologize because the reading feels so all over the place and astoundingly confusing because I'm involved in this mess myself. And it's even worse because of the whole issue about the lack of honesty between each other. Literally, that's playing out here as well. And this is me, like, being honest, but on a grand scale sort of thing. So it's because I've been waiting for her to contact me, as I've been guided to do. And now I just went and been guided to make these videos. And now it's like, well, shit. Well, now she's going to join these videos and I'm exposing everything instead of just talking to her. And it feels wrong. But at the same time, I keep needing to remind myself that this is about the collective. It's not about me and it's not about her. So it's just so freaking gosh darn confusing. But regardless of all of that, despite all of that, I think it's important that I put these up. So I'm just going to suck it up and I'm going to freaking do it. And I'm pretty sure you know who you are now at this point. And if you do have these feelings, and you're worried about reciprocation, A, don't worry about that. B, if you want to chat, please chat. I would rather know what's going on than have to keep playing this guessing game through your energy. Okay? And thirdly, if things can't happen right now, that's the way it is. Like, let's just leave it. Let's just chill out a little bit. Things will happen as it's meant to. And this is also applying to everybody from this person up here back to these people back here. Okay? Cool. There's more energy coming in. There's more energy from this person, feeling of fear of entitlement. So this person is feeling afraid to express. This person is afraid to express their truth to this person because this person has expressed their truth over and over and has just been rejected as a result. So this person's truth in this whole situation, they don't want to come to you because they want to stay away. Because if they come to you and you're not open about their truth, that's going to feel like a devastating point in time for them. Because the biggest issue here is the lack of honesty, because that's creating lack of understanding and it's creating confusion between you guys. Now, this person wants to clear this energy, but they're being guided to do things in a different way. Like, for example, I'm being guided to make these videos, and I'm also being guided to not contact. I've been told, don't contact, so I'm just not. And it feels like this person is just clearly afraid of being hurt again. Absolutely afraid of being hurt again. They are not having it again. They don't want to be hurt again. They also don't want to put up with anybody who's not willing to hear their truth. And the twin flame, it feels like the twin flame behind this person needs to become more accepting. I don't know if that's the case, but it definitely feels like this person won't trust them. It feels like this person's going to speak their truth and talk about psychic stuff and energies and stuff. And it feels like this person's going to be in denial a lot about all of that stuff. It also feels like this person's afraid to talk about their truth, because whenever they do, they've been called out labels such as know-it-all or entitled or something like that. They've been called some sort of label as a projection for telling their truth, and they're afraid that their twin flame is going to project onto them something from their own shadow as well. So they're afraid of the truth. They do want to contact you. If you're the twin flame here, then your person does want to contact you, but they're afraid because their truth is going to astound you a little bit. Their truth is going to be something new of a life for you, and you're going to learn how to evolve with them. And don't get me wrong, you're evolved in different ways as well. Like, remember, there's different healing that's going on. All that happened is that the feminine energy needed to heal first. So this person up here just had an unhealed feminine, and they needed to heal that. Now this person has an unhealed masculine, and they're healing that as well. Okay, that's just what's happening. It's just how it works. It's not about who's more advanced and less advanced, or evolved, or any bullshit like that. It's just about how the energies played out and what energy needed to come first so that the second energy could follow suit. That's pretty much what needed to happen. But that's the truth. That's the final truth, is that this person has a truth, which is a deep, profound truth of life. It's a new way of living life. It's a new way of seeing life. It's full of psychic stuff. It's full of magnetism. It's full of manifestation and goodness and wholeness. But it's also full of controversy and atrocity and devastation, because it's also full of people beating you down because they don't want to hear your truth, or thinking that you're less than you are. It's full of people hindering you and hurting you. So the process has been rough, but this person's process has been rough as well, but they've tried to take the easy route a lot. Spencer, stop. So now they're trying, and it feels like they might still be trying to take the easy route, but they're fully aware that it's not the easy route anymore, because it's not what they want. So they're fully aware that their wants have changed a little bit, and they're also aware that as a result, they want to put the effort in to achieve something. So there's priorities being built here. There's a person being made. And I don't mean that in terms of them being made. What I mean by that is that their mold of who they are is starting to come out. So you come in and you're a mold, right? But then everybody puts their own clay on you, and they put clay and they put clay and they put clay. Oh, you're ADHD, that's a clay. Oh, you're this, that's a clay, right? They put clay, 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 clay. And then you're a figure which is not you. You're still a figure, but it's different. It's got everybody else's energy and everybody else's clay on it. Now what's happening is that you're remaking yourself. So you're now removing that clay so that you can find the true form of your own self, your own clay statue inside all this other clay on top. And that's what's happening. And that metaphor is a perfect visual representation of what the energy is actually happening as well. So you can see the energy on somebody and you can see where it comes from and strip away. But there's also energy inside you. But the clay thing is a good thing to see how that represents in the physical world, and where it falls in. But I'm not going to go into that. That's then learning how to use the psychic gifts and stuff. This is just me making this video for the truth and the honesty to come out. Dude, if you have watched this, I don't know what all is pertinent to you. I can't figure out exactly your situation. I've just done a reading for the collective, but if you fall very clearly in the situation, just keep going. Just follow the advice, okay? There's really not much I can say. You want to hit me up, hit me up. Let's talk.
So it's the morning after the night of the reading, and I need to let you all know that I've been guided to only release this in 3 months' time. I think it's because of my own situation involved in all of this, because I have roles to play currently in the whole situation playing out in my own life, to do with all the people in my own life as well. And I think the angels are aware that people need to go through what they're going through, and that the distance is important. So firstly, they keep telling me, if you guys do join, all the people that are personal to me, just be aware that this is being guided like this, okay? Just be aware that the angels are playing things out the way it's supposed to happen. So even though you're freaking out and stuff, everything's fine. But there's something that you need to learn. And it's something that you're going to learn in this 3 months. That's why I can only post this after 3 months. So, but I'm going to edit it all now and put it all together now. I just feel off about it, all of it. But I'm going to do it anyways, and then I'll put it up in 3 months, because that's the guidance I'm getting. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm afraid. I'm just afraid. because it feels like I'd much rather talk in person to these people rather than make a video like this. But this video is not for those people. This video is for everybody going through this situation. This video is for people who have met their twin flame and can't figure out what's going on. And I think I just happen to be in the same situation. It's just that I got a lot of doubt behind this as well. So it's just a little bit confusing.